This is CBC Here and Now.
A conflict of interest allegation and 6 resignations in just a few weeks.
If he had voted, yes, that was a serious conflict, but he did not.
And it's supposed to be recorded in the minutes. It's not in the minutes. Therefore, it's either the minutes are inaccurate or he didn't do it.
The business of Northern Arms Town Council has ground to a halt.
A council dispute in central Newfoundland has left Northern Arm with just one councillor. Good evening, I'm Debbie Cooper.
And I'm Anthony Germain, and we will start tonight in central Newfoundland, where a conflict of interest allegation has rocked a small town council.
5 councillors and the mayor of Northern Arm quit in the last month, and the only remaining councillor is calling for an investigation into his former co-workers. Here now's Garrett Barry reports.
This fight has moved from council chambers onto the playground. This is a bulletin board behind me filmed with minutes from Northern Arm Council. One man believes these documents vindicate him, while another says they make it clear he broke the rules.
The dates, the time, who I spoke with.
Like a lawyer working a case, this town's last councillor studies the evidence.
Section 206, subsection 2, provided that the council shall declare...
It comes down to this. Did the former mayor break the rules by staying in the chamber while council discussed his wife's town contract? He says yes.
The onus was on the mayor to declare that he was in a conflict of interest situation. He did not do it. It was up to him to leave the chair. He did not do it. Leave the chamber. He did not do it. Not get involved in the discussion. He did get involved in the discussion.
They say no.
He got up to leave, and one of the councillors said, look, there's no need, Lloyd, for you to, I believe he said, Lloyd, no need, Lloyd, for you to leave at this time. We've already discussed this. There's no discussion there. So it's just a vote. And all you got to do is abstain from voting. And then it proceeded. Nobody objected. Mr. Trimlett did not object.
And did Mr. Hunter, did the mayor vote in any capacity? Did he say anything? Did he involve himself in the debate?
He didn't say a thing. Nothing.
It's the latest fight, but Butler says there's been conflict inside council for months, so he quit.
We felt that this was the only way that we were going to be able to bring this to the head, bring it to the attention of the residents of the community, that we weren't accomplishing anything out there.
Tremblett says he's just following the rules, like he promised to do as a councillor. If he's a good man and it didn't affect the outcome of the vote, why pursue it to the extent that everyone else has resigned?
Because it's required under the Municipal Act.
And here now's Garrett Barry joins us live from Gander. So Garrett, what happens next?
Well, the town has to find some kind of way to move forward, and the first step is a one-person council meeting. The provincial government has authorized Mr. Tremblett to call a special meeting only for the purposes of paying bills and call a by-election. But in a town that has had trouble getting enough candidates to fill 7 seats, it's not totally clear where the new candidates are going to come from.
So what are residents saying about all of this?
Well, I heard from a few residents, chatted with them briefly at the bulletin board in the town park that you saw there in the piece, and including one woman who said it's high time for the provincial government to get involved here.
The problem existed months ago, according to all parties. So if the Department of Municipal Affairs was doing their job, I think they should have done something to resolve it before it got to this point.
And what does the Department of Municipal Affairs have to say for itself?
Well, we just got a response from the Department of Municipal Affairs moments ago. I'm going to read it a little bit for you right now. It says the department has been notified of an allegation of conflict of interest in the town and has advised that it be referred back to the town. The department says the town council is responsible for addressing all allegations, something that can't be done, of course, until the council has enough people to start regular meetings again. I should note as well that we did make multiple attempts to try to contact the former mayor, the center of this piece, and we did not get a reply to our request, but he has told local papers that he believes the council minutes are accurate as recorded and that the council minutes exonerate him from any wrongdoing. Reporting live for Here and Now, I'm Garrett Barry in Gander.
A man was found dead outside of a home in the Goulds this morning, but police don't know how he got there. There was a heavy RNC presence around the home on Donovan's Road in the Goulds area of St. John's. Officers were responding to a sudden death at the house. Police say they have identified the dead man and they've notified his family, but at this point in the investigation, the RNC can't say whether the death is suspicious.
This morning, just before 7 a.m., members of the RNC Operational Patrol Services Division responded to the area of Donovan's Road to report that a man had been located deceased in an outdoor area near a residence. At this time, it's still very much under investigation by our major crime unit. We are working with the Office of Chief Medical Examiner to determine the circumstances as well as the cause of the death. Like I said, if anyone out there has any information in relation to this incident, they're certainly asked to contact police.
The driver of an SUV died in a crash with a school bus late this afternoon on Veterans Memorial Highway. Now, these are pictures from the scene. The crash happened around 4 o'clock this afternoon involving the SUV and that school bus. The passenger of the SUV has been taken to hospital. Police say the bus carried 12 students and the driver. None of those appear to be injured. The crash is blocking the road, and the RCMP says traffic can't pass between Mackeson's and Roach's Line.
This will shift to the weather?
Yeah, shift to the weather. The weather wasn't apparently very bad at that scene we just saw, but what can you tell us about going forward, Carolyn?
Going forward, well, we all saw those flurries in St. John's last night. It was something to wake up to. A little bit of a rude awakening. It's
one way
coming.
to put it.
Yeah, so we could see a few flurries overnight tonight as well. That's possible. And yeah, there's some weather on the way as we're heading into the weekend. So I'm just going to have a look at the three things to kind of keep your eye on. The weather on the way headlines. So the first big snowfall in western Labrador is coming tonight into tomorrow. There is a snowfall warning in effect for that neck of the woods. Also on the west coast, the Wreck House area, blowing a gale. It's going to start tonight with gusts up to about 80, and then tomorrow there's a Wreck House wind warning in effect, so gusts will ramp up to 100. So it's going to be very windy in that area for sure. And then as we head into Friday night and early Saturday morning, lots of rain heading our way as what is now a tropical storm, Michael, tracks to the south of the island. So we'll be looking at those rainfall totals for sure. I'll get into those details a bit later. Anthony?
The famous navy blue baseball bus, the Blue Baron, it's about to retire. It's not used anymore. We'll take you back and tell you about this iconic mode of transportation.
Police in this province are changing the way that they go after drug dealers. The RNC and RCMP announced today that they are disbanding their combined unit and taking separate approaches to drug crimes. Here now's Ryan Cook reports.
It's a unit you've probably never heard of, unless you've been busted by them, like the Vikings Motorcycle Club was a couple years ago. After a daring murder in North River, police spent months investigating the club. Then they swept across the city and nabbed a dozen men for drug trafficking charges. But now the Combined Forces Special Enforcement Unit is no more. Instead, the RCMP will stay dedicated to organized crime, but with a more province-wide focus.
We have teams on the ground and we can build integrated operations outside of St. John's and really get into these organized crime groups and be effective.
The bigger change will be with the RNC. They'll take a lower-level approach, hitting street dealers.
I meet regularly with the various leaders of the municipalities where we police, and they were very adamant that they wanted more enforcement at the street level. And the CFSU model, just the mandate of that unit, didn't allow us to get in at the street level and to interrupt that kind of drug activity.
Around Tessier Place in St. John's, the neighborhood association has been crying out for more cops. It's the low-level stuff that's driving them crazy.
I think drugs are evidently a big problem in this area. A lot of syringes are found on a regular basis, both in the park, in this little triangular park here, the Johnson Foundation Park. I think with the police presence, things have to get better. Any criminal activity, of course, has got to wean when police are present, and that's what we're hoping for.
RNC and RCMP want people to know, whether you're high level or low level, this move spells bad news for drug dealers. Ryan Cook, CBC News, St. John's.
A man accused of being part of a street race that killed 18-year-old Hannah Thorne is now waiting for a judge to decide his fate. Stephen Mercer was in court today for the closing arguments in his criminal trial. The family of Hannah Thorne was there too. Here now, Zach Gowdy is on this story. He's joining us live. So Zach, what are the issues that will decide this case?
Well, there are two big questions in this case. One, if the vehicles involved were in fact street racing, and two, whether Stephen Mercer was driving one of those vehicles. Now today, Mercer looked stoic but tense as he sat in the prisoner's box at Supreme Court. Hannah Thorne's parents sat behind him holding a picture of their daughter and her grandmother. On July 7th, 2016, Thorne and her grandmother were driving on Veterans Memorial Highway when a pickup truck crashed into them head on. Brian King has already admitted to driving that pickup truck and pleaded guilty. Stephen Mercer is accused of driving the other vehicle and is pleaded not guilty. In its summation today, the Crown said there is plenty of circumstantial evidence that puts Mercer behind the wheel, also that a race need not necessarily have a flag or a finish line. Mercer's defense attorney says the Crown has not proven its case beyond a reasonable doubt. Hannah Thorne's parents told me that they are hoping to see a conviction and the stiffest possible sentence, but that there is one thing that would be even more meaningful to them.
What I'm hoping to hear is accountability and acceptance. And I don't think we're going to get that by the sounds of things, but that's all we ask. I'm not going to call it the system is only a rap on the knuckles anyway, but acceptance for what you did and accountability, that's all we can ask for. There'll never be enough justice handed down where we would consider it being justice for taking Hannah's life. Never.
Justice William Goodridge will now weigh the arguments and decide Miller's fate. He is scheduled to hand down his verdict on October 29th. Reporting live in St. John's, I'm Zach Gowdy for Here and Now.
The provincial government is expecting an even bigger deficit. New numbers have the deficit projected to be $99 million higher than expected, for a total of almost $911 million. The increase in the forecast is because of lower than expected revenues and higher expenses. The government claims it's still on track to return to surplus by 2022.
Newfoundland and Labrador's health minister says the province is ready for the legalization of cannabis. John Haggie says it's impossible to predict what will happen after recreational cannabis becomes legal next week, but he says regional health authorities are prepared for the change. Haggie is also warning first-time users to exercise caution.
Well, it's the same with any intoxicant. You've got to use it wisely. They all have risk. Alcohol has risk, marijuana has risk, and people who are not used to it may get a shock. And so I think they just need to be careful.
A famous and celebrated blue school bus on the West Coast is out of action, retired. The Blue Baron baseball bus in Corner Brook no longer takes players on tournaments across the province. But for those who did travel on it, the bus meant a whole lot more than transportation. Here now's Colleen Connors has the baseball bus story.
Jubilee Field, a crispy game of baseball between the Monarchs and the Marlins. Just beyond the fence sits the Blue Baron.
Come on in.
The iconic Navy school bus has carted many baseball lovers to championships across Newfoundland and Atlantic Canada.
It's a mode of transportation, but it's also a locker room. It's also a debriefing room where we talk about the games and talk about every play that we should have made and what cost us the championship and what won us the championship. And it was a place for card games, all kinds of things.
Humber says the association is the only group to have its own bus.
It's very unique. It's a blue bus, first of all, and there's just not that many around. So when we pull into communities in Atlantic Canada, and even into Grand Falls and Gander and St. John's, you were noticed. When you showed up in the Blue Baron, you were noticed. The walls were rocking, the windows were booming, and people, when we arrived, people knew we were there for sure.
Just carrying the kids around and watching them play and the excitement, and it was great. I got just as much fun out of it as I'm sure the kids did.
Ted Thorne was the main man behind the wheel. He he and many other volunteers drove the Blue Baron for nearly 30 years.
It was a great trip for them, and if they happen to win the tournament, they get to sign the roof of the bus on the inside with a marker, and they all wanted to do that.
A major Corner Brook baseball win. Your name was forever on the roof of the bus. Even some famous players signed the Baron.
Roberto Alomar and Dwayne Ward, Lloyd Mosby.
But this iconic locker room on wheels no longer serves a purpose. Younger baseball players don't travel on the bus. They travel to the tournaments with their parents.
I guess it's a sign of the times where parents are more wary of where their kids are and who they're with, and they always want them to be in sight and in earshot. And it's too bad, because I think the traveling on the bus certainly made the team gel together, and they got to know each other and created great friendships that would probably last a lifetime for them.
So it costs us a fair bit of money to keep it on the road, inspections, insurance, those types of things. So it just financially, it wasn't a good decision to keep it on the road anymore.
The bus hasn't moved in 3 years. It would cost almost $1,500 to have it inspected yearly. Then there's insurance costs and maintenance.
We'd rather take the money now, I guess, and put it into the programs and the kids and other equipment, so you can be able to travel and be better prepared.
Well, what is going to become of the famous Blue Baron? Will it be a museum? Maybe even a chip truck? The association plans on deciding what to do with the bus before the next baseball season. Colleen Connors, CBC News, Corner Brook.
A downtown St. John staple is swirling once again. Part of Lars Fruit Mart is back on the corner of New Gower and Queen, serving up its famous custard cones. Winnie Crocker, also known as Mrs. Lar, ran that business with her husband for 50 years, and today she was back behind the counter reminiscing.
We must have done something right. God bless him, and I know he's looking down on us today.
Oh, he's very.
And he's saying, sure. "Oh, what a good job." Yes, yeah, well done.
Now, I met up with Winnie Crocker earlier today for a cone, of course, and some conversation. That's coming up, the conversation, in about 18 minutes.
You come out here and you exhale, you know?
Nothing sheepish about that booming radio voice.
Bill Gregory used to work for VOCM, K-Rock, and Hits FM.
And what's he doing now? That's next. And welcome back once again.
And before we get to the weather, calling all Costco shoppers, it looks like the superstore will be spending another Christmas in the East End.
Wow. The mega retailer says it will not be opening up in Galway until February 2019.
Now, it was expected that the new location would be ready next month. Former Premier Danny Williams previously said that he was hoping Costco would be open by Halloween, so perhaps delay. Good news maybe for East Enders and St. John's?
I'm sure a lot of West Enders are looking forward to this. In the new year.
It's a very big store, so lots of times they run into construction delays.
Yeah, happens all the time. Well, the weather, as I mentioned earlier, we do have a lot of weather on the way as we head into the weekend, but I'm going to start looking at the tonight and tomorrow forecast and the highs today on the island. Temperatures between 4 and 8 degrees, fairly chilly in Labrador West, below the freezing mark today, and things are going to stay very cool and very snowy in Lab City overnight tonight. The snow is going to start falling. We have a snowfall warning in effect. About 10 to 15 centimeters of snow in total expected with that system. And we also have a wreck house wind warning for the west coast of the island. So gusts, it's going to ramp up tonight, gusting to about 80, and then it's really going to start blowing a gale tomorrow with gusts up to 100. So this is the system that's bringing the snow to western Labrador. It's also going to bring some showers to the west coast of the island. So the wreck house is not only going to be pretty windy tonight, it's also going to be a little bit wet. About 2 millimeters of rain expected to fall there for the island. Temperatures below the freezing mark. So there is a chance of some flurries for the Gander St. John's area. Very similar, I guess, to what we saw last night. Some cloudy skies for the St. Anthony area, and in Labrador, about 5 centimeters of snow to start tonight with that system as it starts to work its way from west to east. So tomorrow during the day, you can see that mix of potential snow and showers on the west coast early in the day, and the snow continuing for the west in Labrador. So most of the south coast will see some showers tomorrow. Temperatures getting up to about 7 degrees in St. John's. Not a whole lot of rain expected to start. Just about 2 millimeters there, 5 millimeters for the Marystown area. Temperatures around 8 degrees there. As we head into central, chance of some showers there as well. Grand Falls, Windsor could see some showers, could see some flurries, and as well on the west coast, it could be that messy mix of the two. And winds up along the coast staying strong there. So southeasterly winds 30 gusting to 70, and this is when the wreck house warning will really take effect tomorrow. So in that area, it will be gusting upwards of 100 kilometers an hour. In the Straits, mostly cloudy day, fairly quiet. Some light winds there and temperatures around 5 or 6 degrees. For the rest of Labrador, the east looking at about 5 to 10 centimeters. So that's on top of what would have fallen the night before. Churchill Falls could see a little bit less than that, and cloudy skies along the coast there. Happy Valley, Goose Bay later on in the day, those flurries could change to some rain. So we do have this special weather statement in effect. This is for Friday night into Saturday morning. So the entire south coast and the Avalon Peninsula and Bonavista, Clarenville affected by this. But it's really Burin and the Avalon that could see the rain associated with Tropical Storm Michael. Here it is, and it will be tracking our way overnight and into Friday night and Saturday. You can see by about Saturday morning, that's when the heaviest rain is expected. Could see 25 millimeters or more. I'll get into more of those details a bit later.
Thanks, Carolyn. Well, from the microphone to manure.
It's not often as far away as people think. Former VOCM and K-Rock broadcaster Bill Gregory isn't on the air anymore. In fact, he's working in a new field, and I mean it. He's on the farm.
St. John's Morning Show host Fred Hutton met up with Gregory to talk about his midlife career change.
After a quarter of a century behind microphones and about a 2-year PR stint at Confederation Building, last year Bill Gregory packed it all in and bought the farm. Well, not literally, but he is working on his family farm in Haricot, about an hour outside St. John's.
Did you ever imagine that this is what you'd be spending your days doing?
No, to be honest with you. After Dad retired, my brother Paul retired from that, and my mom, who was a big force behind it. Dad was in his early 70s and wanted something else to do, because, you know, he gets bored. Twice a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, the cows need to be milked, so there was no downtime, I guess.
Remind me how that's different from radio or politics?
Yeah, the hours are better.
Twice a day, 365 days a year.
So let's go in here, Fred, and take a look at some of the meats we have waiting to process.
And none of this grosses you out?
None of this grosses me out, no. Oh, it's good.
About 4 years ago, Bill and his wife sold their home in St. John's and moved to the area just a few hundred meters from where he was raised. This is where you grew up, right?
Yeah, right there.
In that house just there?
Yeah.
And now here you are.
Here we are, back again, full circle. I was 25 years in radio, as you did. I started at Munn Radio in 1990.
But at a certain point, you decided to leave broadcasting.
Yeah.
Briefly.
It was shortly after Penashue and Paul McGee passed, within a matter of months of each other, and
colleagues who worked with you at VO.
Colleagues, gentlemen, friends, two great individuals. They were mentors to me, and I found it hard to be funny, and you know, to be on all the time, and it was just a difficult task. And I left and went to the provincial government in communications there. That was fun. I loved the people I worked with, and I loved the politics of it all. I loved, you know, the inner sanctum of it all. But that got a bit wearing, considering one of the files I was handling.
What file was that?
You might have heard of it, Fred. Access to Information, Bill 29. Yeah, it almost killed Bill 39, because you know, you're getting hammered at every quarter. I remember there was a 3-month stint there from January to March where I worked 7 days a week.
But 7 days a week, I mean, that's basically what you signed up for here now.
Yeah, but look.
Because this is forever, except,
you know.
Do you ever regret
No.
leaving broadcasting or politics?
No.
Do you even have your, those kids? And their,
Get the gun, Fred! Get off my lawn!
That sense of humor is back. While this lifestyle is by no means easy, Bill Gregory says he's in a good place, physically and mentally. What's the hardest part of this job? I guess physically, I mean.
The hardest part? Sometimes collections.
Oh, yeah. He just had a poop.
That's great TV.
Bill is helping the family business expand, taking their product now to the St. John's Farmers Market. That means more drives to St. John's. You're not completely off the grid living off
Oh my
the land.
God, no.
You still go to Costco.
Oh yeah, my God, it's still like the daily trips. You know, I'm in St. John's every couple of weeks. Driving in the city I find is more taxing. You know, everybody seems to be white-knuckled and in a rush to get nowhere.
Bill admits this is not for everyone, but remember, he grew up around all this. And the reality is that on a farm, sheep and cows are raised primarily for food.
The animal is letting through here, we put pipes up, and then it comes in here, and it's put down instantly.
Having a good grasp of gallows humor is very necessary in this line of work, but that's not to say he has no emotional attachment whatsoever.
Last winter, I was forgetting myself and my father had the tube feed a lamb because it wasn't surviving very well, and it died in my arms. And I went up to the house and just kind of sat there for a while, you know. But even though I know if that lamb had survived, it would eventually
Eventually it would take its life so it could provide food for
right.
others.
But it was very weird, it was very surreal.
You do have that emotional attachment that you didn't even realize yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not Spock, you know?
Looking over the vast expanse that is his family land, going back several generations, you can tell Bill Gregory is a man at ease with his decision to leave the hustle and bustle behind.
A lot of my life decisions have been made along these shores. You know, you just sit and you think and you get lost in it, really, you know? right? And everything just kind of, any stresses of the day, back in the day especially, it just melts away. Sometimes I pinch myself, you know. How can you not?
What a great item.
It really was. It was lovely to connect with Bill, and boy, has he ever made the right decision for him.
Completely stress-free. Amazing.
This is my first cone in 15 years. Enjoy.
Thank you very much. Winnie hasn't lost her touch. Coming up, we're going to take a look at how a pub in downtown St. John's is honoring the legendary Lars fruit store. It was here for 50 years.
Good?
Wonderful.
Lovely. That's good. That's good.
Welcome back to Here Now. A grand opening today of a new pub in downtown St. John's at a historic address, 79 New Gower Street. That's where Lars Fruit Mart operated for 49 years. And for ages, it was the only place really to get a decent fruit basket. The pub is honoring the famous shop's memory with an attached side business, Lars Custard Cones. Generations of families gobbled those down. And today I met up with Winnie Crocker as she poured up cones to talk about why so many people still have sweet memories of the store where she worked with her husband. Chris Andrews, you've opened another pub in a historic address. Why did you want to commemorate Lars' fruit store?
I just think it's such a part of St. John's history, you know, like my mom was from Springdale Street, my dad was from Henry Street, and they always spoke of Lars. You know, we came here as children. Everybody sort of had a spot in their heart for that little spot with custard cones and candy apples and fresh fruit. And when we met Mrs. Lara Winnie there, that just sealed the deal. We were definitely going for it.
And she gave you Lars' apron.
Isn't that amazing? We're going to get that framed up. What a lovely gesture. She's such a lovely woman, you know. And even today coming down, you know, she wanted to be involved. And we're like, just come down and serve a cone. No, she said, I want to go to work for a while. And we're like, sure, if that's what you want, you give her. She's just a lovely person.
All right, so Winnie, the Newfoundland Embassy has decided to honor a store that you were a part of for a very long time. How do you feel?
I feel very, very happy indeed, in memory of Lara, I must say, yes.
The store that you ran with Laura was just an institution. What was it about it that made it such an important part of the St. John's community?
Well, I think it was, one thing was the flickering lights. That was the first, really, you know. And the way we operated and displayed our fruit and the markings on the window, everything, you know.
In 2018, a lot of people watching might not realize that back in the day, if you wanted to go to the hospital for someone who's sick or you wanted to make a nice gift, the only place where you could get a decent fruit basket was...
It's Lars, right, yeah, and that's true, very true, yes. We did a lot of business in that way, yeah.
But what was it about those fruit baskets that everybody loved?
Well, we certainly did our best, gave the best, you know, and it was always a joy in doing it, and people would say, I want one made up now, fresh when I go in. We'd say, okay, that's all right. So she would pick out what the fruits that she wanted. It was a joy, honestly, always.
And also people come far and wide for candy apples.
Yes.
But the big thing that everyone tells me about are your custard cones.
Oh, yes.
What was it about them?
I don't know, but they were different, believe you me.
You ran this place for half a century, right?
Yes, yeah.
How many custard cones do you figure you actually made in the course of half a century?
Oh my goodness, it has to be a million.
A million? And you mentioned on the last day, when you closed.
Last day I played, and then you went 700.
700 cones?
Yeah, 700.
Must have been tired.
Oh no, you know, I know, because there's so many people, friends and that coming in, and good wishes and a hug and all that. No, I was happy, really, yeah.
There's a lovely rendition of your husband on the wall here, right underneath Lars' custard cones, and there he is.
Yeah.
And you actually brought something that
Yes,
belonged. Can you show me what that is?
I certainly will. This is Lars' apron.
The original?
The original apron, yes, my darling.
Looks brand new.
It does, doesn't it? My niece, she washed it, starched it, did it all. Wait, now, here we are.
But he took good care of it, obviously.
I did, well, I used to do his aprons. He wanted me to do his aprons because he knew I would do them, bleach them and put them out in the frost, get them white, you know. Sometimes I put them down in the fridge. I roll them up and put them down in the fridge.
Keep them crisp.
Well, they're frosted, bleached them, you know.
Some people told me they never saw him without an apron on.
Never, never. Even sometimes when he was going to a special place, he put an apron and an overcoat over it.
So he had the tie, jacket,
but
apron.
He loved his apron, honestly, and he loved them white. And ties was another thing he loved, yeah.
Now you told me at his funeral you did something with an apron.
Yes, I put an apron in his casket because that was a big part of it. Yeah, I did.
It's quite something.
But anyhow, yeah, that's him.
You think he'd be proud of the fact that...
Oh my gosh, yes. He's looking down at us today, and you know what he's saying? A job well done. That's true, a job well done, yeah.
You certainly have a lot of memories.
I know, he's happy today, and God love him. It's his day. It's his day.
That was so wonderful. What a walk down memory lane. I remember the store. I mean, Lars was... There was nothing like it in the city.
Did you eat your fair share of cones, Ms. Cooper?
A few of those, but I remember the fruit baskets. It must have been visiting people in the hospital because they really were special.
Right.
Oh,
no, very sweet lady. Nice gesture, too. So,
but I will get a cone.
Of course.
Welcome back to Here and Now. Elizabeth Penashue is a respected Innu elder from Labrador with a passion for her culture and environmental activism. Today, she was the special guest at the St. John's Storytelling Festival. Elizabeth Penashue has a commanding presence, and people fill the room's auditorium to listen to her stories. Traditional tales, personal experience, the political and the private.
I never forget my mom inside the tent. When she sleep, she went to sleep. Nobody locked the door. No alcohol, no drugs. And my mom, she's seen her children all sleep. A nice warm tent. She went to sleep. She never wake until in the morning.
Elizabeth has fought to maintain her people's way of life, trekking through the wilderness to protest low-level military flying, and later to educate young Innu about how their environment and their culture are intertwined. She was against the Muskrat Falls development from the beginning, despite her son's support of it, former MP Peter Penashue. Elizabeth has many accolades and many stories. Some she shared today.
Always I listen to my parents, like my mom, my dad. And my dad and my mom, the story come from old people. Like my dad, her mom, her grandfather, and old people, past, that's the story. And that's why I'm saying it's very, very important, story. Because my mom and my dad, when she speak, I listen so many times. And a lot of people ask me, where did you get that story? My parents. That's what it's so important, past, old people, that story.
I know you are very close to the Innu youth. You have a passion for teaching them.
Yeah.
What do you hope they learn from you?
Yeah, I'm very concerned. That's why I didn't want to stop what I'm doing. Always, I try to help young children. I don't want to see they get lost. Our culture. The children, she's Innu, and I don't want to see it get lost. Our culture is so important. She gotta be learned like me. I learned through my parents and old people. Same thing, I want to pass to the children. I don't want to see it lost. Our culture, Innu culture, so important.
Elizabeth, you have seen many changes, though. Are you hopeful that the Innu youth will learn and will preserve a way of life that's so important to you?
Yes, every time when I teach the children, go in the bush in the country, go with them, and I was thinking many times, I hope they're going back for our culture. And so many times I talk to him, I talk to the children. I hope they will, yes. But like me when I was young, until when I grown up. Now everything's here, I understand, and I know where did they come from, past the generation. Yeah, I hope the children are gonna have it.
Is that what keeps you going, Elizabeth?
Yeah.
That hope?
Yeah, always. That's what I'm thinking.
Elizabeth, I know how important it is for you to take your walk through the wilderness. You have an injury. Are you going to be able to walk again?
Yeah, I really, really want to go again, walk, because the children, very, very important to take in the bush in the country, to learn what I had. I got passed to him what I learned, And it's so many times when I walk, I invite the children, any children and my grandchildren, and I can see every day, I can see the children very happy. Grandma, Elizabeth, I'm so happy here. And when I see the children happy and when I listen, makes me happy, make me more strong. See a lot of animals, a lot of everything, mountains, trees.
I hope you do walk this spring.
I hope, yeah, I hope.
It was lovely to have a chat with Elizabeth. She said those walks, obviously very important. She said many white people have joined her on the walks, and she feels that's changed their perspective sometimes. And as well, she's got a book coming out in the spring. She's deliberating about what the name of it is going to be. But all her stories, her essays, her speeches, she even talked in The Hague on human rights issues. So it's all in her book. So coming
Watching her
out.
pull the toboggan as well, a very strong woman in many, many ways.
Exactly.
Here's a live shot of St. John's Harbor. Pretty dark out there right now. Tonight, it's going to be fairly breezy with winds gusting up to 60. We could see a few showers, maybe a flurry or two, and the wind chill getting down to -5. I'll have more details coming up after the break.
Right, a little cooler than what I've experienced of late. It's kind of cold riding a bike today, I can tell you that, on the face. Yes.
Did you
really?
Yeah.
You definitely
Was I
need the
thinking?
gloves and the hat now. I was out walking the dogs this morning, did not have my gloves, and I really regretted it. So it's time to dig out those warm weather things for sure. So tonight we are looking at a bit of a chilly evening as well. As I mentioned before the break, looking at a -5 wind chill in St. John's.
Wow.
So yeah, it's pretty chilly. Let's have a look at the current temperatures across Canada right now. 2 degrees in St. John's, but not too bad in Toronto, Vancouver. 13, 14 degrees. At least they're in the double digits right now. We do have a snowfall warning in effect for Western Labrador, Wabush, Lab City. The snow should be starting tonight, about 5 centimeters of snow, and then continuing tomorrow. So all told, about 10 to 15 centimeters of snow. The Churchill Falls area looking at about 10 centimeters of snow, so not quite as much, but it is going to be starting tonight, continuing tomorrow. For the Rec House area, looking at winds ramping up tonight, gusts up to 80, but then tomorrow is when this wind warning is for, so gusts up to 100 throughout the day tomorrow. So we could see a few flurries in that area, so it's going to be wet and it's going to be windy with a chance of flurries, and the snow continuing throughout the day in Western Labrador. Some showers for the Avalon Peninsula tomorrow. Temperatures getting up to 7 degrees there. Only about 2 millimeters of rain expected throughout the day. 5 millimeters in the Marystown and Port aux Basques area, and pretty windy there with that warning in effect along the coast as well, up through the Corner Brook area. Southeasterly winds gusting to 70 there. So temperatures around 5 or 6 degrees in the central area. For Labrador, an additional 5 to 10 centimeters of snow expected to fall throughout the day tomorrow along the coast. Pretty cloudy and 5 degrees there in Cartwright. So we had the special weather statement in effect. Not sure yet if we're going to see a rainfall warning, but the South Coast, Avalon, Burin Peninsula, Bonavista, Clarenville, all affected by the remnants of Tropical Storm Michael. So that's going to be heading our way Friday night into Saturday. So here's Michael. We're at 6 a.m. on Saturday, so we're really going to see the rain coming down then, but then throughout the day, things are going to clear off. So it's not going to last very long. It's pretty fast moving for the rest of the day, looking at a chance of some showers, a mainly cloudy day, and temperatures bumping up a little bit to 13 degrees in the east, 10 in central and in the west. Periods of snow for Western Labrador and 0 as the high there. So it's going to be pretty snowy for the next few days in the Labrador region, actually, continuing along southeastern Labrador through Sunday morning. A little bit of clearing for central, but little specks of showers for the west and for the east. 9 degrees for the St. John's area with a chance of showers for the west as well, and continuing those flurries for a Labrador. And that's your forecast. Back to you.
Thanks, Carolyn. Well, a very close call today on the way to the International Space Station. A booster rocket failed barely 2 minutes after taking off, forcing the crew members inside a Russian capsule to make an emergency landing.
Emergency booster 2 minutes 45 seconds, the emergency, the failure of the booster.
Video from inside the capsule shows a Russian cosmonaut and an American astronaut shaking violently as the rocket malfunctioned. They were heading for a 6-month stay on the space station, but were forced to make a steep trip back to Earth. Officials say both men are safe and in good condition.
Now, today's aborted launch could have a big impact on Canada's next astronaut. David Saint-Jacques is supposed to blast off on December the 20th, but veteran astronaut Chris Hadfield, well, he has doubts.
It's inevitable that David's flight will be delayed. He's qualified to be in the left seat of the Soyuz, the pilot of the Soyuz, but when he's going to fly, no one knows the answer to that question right now. Whether he'll be on the next Soyuz, even that's not decided. We have to wait and see.
Now, David Saint-Jacques is an engineer, astrophysicist, and a family doctor from Quebec. He's been training for the last 2 years on the capsule. The Canadian Space Agency says it's monitoring the situation.
Welcome back, everyone. Time now to see our viewer photo of the day. Have a look at this. Beautiful shot. I will give you a hint. This is a very powerful image.
Powerful? Powerful?
Yeah.
That's your hint?
It could be electric.
Electric?
What dam? What river with a big dam?
What damn river is it?
I was hoping that would be a good clue, but clearly it was not. Yeah. Churchill River.
Ah, yes, that damn river.
We don't usually see that calm part of the river, do we?
No,
and
absolutely.
it's worth looking at.
Love the yellows.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Randy Whitehorn, for sending this in. He was out moose hunting in the area and took this shot. So.
Yep.
And I mentioned last night that I love getting shots from Labrador, so here's another.
Yeah, you can feel that crispness and smell.
Christmas will come, Debbie.
Yes,
Christmas will
very
come.
soon.
That's gorgeous.
Say goodnight, Debbie.
And if you have a photo, please send it in to our email address, nlphotos@cbc.ca, right there.
Okay.
Perfect. We'll see you tomorrow.
Good night, everyone.
Thanks for being with us, everyone. See ya.